So why do you think it's okay for these women to go around begging, and we give them a pass when they are the ones who decided if the kids would be had or not? But the men who are at the realm of the women, well, if they ask for any money to help pay for their child support, well, they get made fun of and they get called deadbeats, and we don't help them at all.
So the responsibility that's put upon men to be men is definitely much stronger. So men don't get as much as compassion as women, and they shouldn't. A single mother, putting up a GoFundMe and getting funds, I have no problem with that. She deserves that, because regardless of what's going on or what happened, for whatever reason, obviously she was not perfect, but obviously the men that she was involved with are not perfect or responsible either.
This video right here is my 2 cents on Tommy Sotomayor and this guy named Lex talking about whether or not women are deserving of GoFundMe or money from the state when it comes down to having a bunch of kids by different guys. I have my own opinion on this. I didn't create this video, but I'm just giving my own opinion. Both of them have good points. Lex says that women are deserving. And yes, because women should be protected and covered by men, women and children, this and third. Tommy has a point that that you shouldn't, as a woman, because you have the power, the option to have the kid, you shouldn't just spring a kid up on a guy at a moment's notice and decide to have the kid and just drag him through the court system. Well, there's 2 different things going on here. Yes, men should take care of their women and kids, women and children. If in this case, I think a man should take care of the woman, at least take care of the kids. If there was a mutual understanding at the beginning that yes, if I lay with you, I plan to be in your life with the kid or whatever. Most guys are not laying up with a woman hoping that she gets pregnant. There should be a mutual understanding. The woman should understand that, hey, this guy isn't laying down with me because he wants me to have a kid after this. He just want to have a good time and go on his way. So if a woman is understanding and knowing that this guy doesn't really want a kid, he just wants to get with me, it'll be wrong for the woman to then say, find out she's pregnant, because that's just what a woman body does. Because yes, it's a potential that she gets pregnant, but there was no conversation or agreement between her and the guy that she slept with that yes, if you get pregnant, yes, I want to have the kid. In that case, because both of them laid down together and there was no conversation that the guy wants to be there and the potential that she gets pregnant, I don't think it's right for a woman to decide to bring a child into this world when she could have prevented it. And the guy did not want a child. He just wanted to lay down with you, to bring the child in this world anyway, and put this child in a situation where they do not have a father or mother, or in a situation where the woman can't take care of the child herself. So I think there's something. I think most women in this situation should learn something from this situation. Yes, if you have 2 or 3 children and you're trying to take care of them, yes, I think the state ought to do something. Someone has to do something to help protect them and take care of them if the man isn't there. Yes. And I think for the sake of the kids, that ought to happen. But it's irresponsible, as Tommy said, for the woman to then go back out again and have another child and repeat that same cycle, and it produces the same issues thereafter. So I hold the woman responsible in that regard. The man, on the other hand, I hold the man responsible on the point of, if you're gonna get with this woman, make sure you make it known. Make sure there's some mutual understanding that, no, I do not want a child. Yes, I just want to have a good time or whatever. I do not want a child. I just want to have a good time. If you get pregnant, I'm not trying to have this child. Do not have this child. If you find out you're pregnant, take a plan B or what have you. That conversation needs to be had by the male at the very beginning. Make it known that you are not laying down with her to have a kid or start a family. Because most guys are not trying to start a family. They just want to have a good time for the moment. So, like I said, I think it's wrong for a woman to just all of a sudden just spring a kid on them a year later when there was no conversation about them mutually wanting a family. There's this thing called Planned Parenthood, and I think that's in place because it works. I believe marriage works. In the confines of marriage, it works because both individuals plan to be together, live together. If they have kids, they're together and they take care of each other in that regard. But that's why situations where there's a lot of laying up going along, these situations happen. So, like I said, there's points on both sides, but I just believe that there should be some mutual understanding at the very beginning. If there's mutual understanding between the guy and the girl at the very beginning, these problems wouldn't arise. I don't know that if they did some type of written or verbal contract at the very beginning, if that will hold up in a court of law, but at least the woman would know that, hey, I know what this guy's intentions are. He does not want a child. He stated that. He wrote it down. We signed on the dotted line or whatever. So there should be any reason for her to put herself through that turmoil of when she's finding out that she's pregnant, to have the baby, and then having to ask for funds to take care of the baby. You can avoid all that issue at the very beginning by knowing what the guy's intentions are. But like Tommy is saying, if the woman knows that her intentions are that the man ain't no good, that he's not trying to have a child, he just want to lay up, and you decide to lay up with him, that's the other thing. So you at fault too if the woman decides to lay up anyway, to try to have this child anyway and spring it on the guy. No, that's not right, because the woman is the barrier to decide. Once she gets pregnant, you can decide to keep it or not. She has that decision right then and there to make. So if she makes that decision to have a child, then she deserves the heartache of having to deal with this situation. She has to deal with it, but when I say heartache, she has to deal with the pregnancy and stuff like that. She has to suffer through that if she decides to go through that. Now, she shouldn't go back out there and continue that same behavior, of course. But I do think that if you see women, and especially children, needing assistance, money, I think that's a good thing to do. But the woman should also know that don't repeat that same cycle about continue having kids, knowing that people will take pity on you and give you money. I think that's wrong. So I think the woman should decide, let me talk to the guy that I slept with and let him know that I'm pregnant, and ask him what his opinion is. Does he want to have this child? The woman cannot decide to have that child when she knows that there needs to be two people involved. If the other party says that he does not want you to go through their pregnancy or want to be involved in that child's life, it's irresponsible of that woman to have the child anyway and go through that tough, grueling process. So that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. This is Must Discuss, and holla at you.